It goes from the scammer mentality.
Don't fall for it, man. It's a scam.
Dealing with the confrontation. And
You scared?
Yeah, that's a scam.
to then swearing at him. Like,
It's fake. Get out of here.
picking up a weapon.
You go. You go.
And then they go to the fifth inevitable level, which is, of course, victim. Hey guys, welcome back to Confrontation Station. I'm Massey. This is Craig. We're here to look at people, confronting people. And look, we're both addicted to this stuff. And Craig, I've got something which is a whole new... I mean, this is going to change my life, and I think it might change your life. You know the kind of cortisol rush you get and the adrenaline from watching some confrontations? Well, I have never seen anything better than this one. This is my favorite topic, maybe of all time, and it's pickpocketers and scammers. But it's the kind of mirror economy. I mean, that's the oldest thing ever, right? People stealing from each other, scamming each other, especially in big cities. But there's this now like mirror economy coming up of people scamming scammers, which you've shown me before. That's usually like Indian call center scammers. But this is even better because with those, you don't get real in-person confrontations, where this is like groups of people who've dedicated their lives and now YouTube channels to going out there and confronting pickpocketers. And honestly, I've had so many nights where like I'm in bed and I'm just watching this stuff on the iPad and I can't sleep because I've got so much adrenaline. And I'm literally thinking, well, I've got work in the morning, but instead of doing my job, I could just, I don't want to go to sleep now. I could just get up tomorrow and go and do this. I'd love to dedicate my life to just bothering these people who are ruining people's lives. Because someone's vacation is such a sacred thing. You have like maybe a week off work where you can afford to go away. Sometimes people only have a weekend where they can go away. And to get to a city and be so happy, and one of the first things you do is get scammed by someone, pickpocketed, it just puts such a it ruins not only losing the thing, it ruins your break and it changes it into this horrible thing. These people are the scum of the earth. I don't care what their background is. I don't care what country they're from. If you're a pickpocketer, you are absolute scum. And these people that I'm going to show you today are doing the Lord's work. I absolutely love it. And hey, I don't even believe in God, but this makes me believe in God because I get this feeling inside, which is joy and love and happiness here. Righteous happiness, like probably Moses felt as he came down from that mountain with those two things. Anyway, all right, so there's two guys that I want to show you. The first one is a guy, his name is Tyler Oliveira, and he is at the pinnacle of this stuff. I've been following a few other people I'm going to show you, but this guy is my favorite channel by far. And we're not going to show you too much of this stuff because I think anyone watching this should go and watch his stuff. And I'm going to be subscribing to his Patreon today because there's some stuff in there which looks amazing. So this is the first one. So in this episode, they are in Venice. I was just in Venice earlier this year. If I'd have been pickpocketed, I would have been gutted. It would ruin the trip. They have several stages to their things. To their videos. Usually they find the pickpocket and then they go on the chase. And this guy makes it really loud. He makes it really uncomfortable for these people. So I'm just going to show you. In this video, you're going to see them spotting a pickpocket, chasing them and confronting them.
Pickpocket! Pickpocket! Yeah. Pickpocket! Run! Pickpocket! Pickpocket! You don't move, you stay put. Take the glasses off. Take the glasses off now. Shame! Pickpocket! Why do you stand there and cry? Do you cry for your victims? We know you don't.
So did you see that? There was something that happened there. So it starts off shit. They run after them. They always make this really loud noise, which is what pickpockets don't want. Pickpockets are there to like act like they are just normal passers-by. So when they have people with big signs, in some cases, people pointing pickpocket, these guys are all wearing like ship nautical captain hats to draw attention to themselves, I'm assuming. And then they just run and they just shout, pickpocket, pickpocket. Two really interesting things happen here. Obviously, the pickpocket usually runs, so they immediately get into flee with any like flight, basically. But then they start playing the victim, and this is something we're going to focus on today. We're going to focus on my favorite thing, which is the female pickpocket. Next week, we're going to get into the male pickpockets, but the female pickpockets are great because they always play the victim. They always play the victim because that's the card that they can play in society. There they show on this that female pickpockets will actually, like the career ones, will get pregnant so they can be pregnant, because a pregnant woman is people are more sympathetic to pregnant. Why are you yelling at this woman? She's pregnant. It's not just about her anymore. It's about the baby. That's the depths that these people go to. So you can see in this one, they chase her and then she immediately crouches down, and he shouldn't touch her, but he goes to see what her face is like to shame her, and she immediately screams. That's the first thing. You'll see what I mean. They scream. So let's watch it again. That's Fred, by the way, that bodyguard who's always with him.
Pickpocket, run! Pickpocket! Pickpocket!
Look.
You don't move, you stay put.
Watch the scream.
Take the glasses off now. Shame! Pickpocket! Why do you stand there and cry? Do you cry for your victims? We know you don't.
That scream is really important. So then, because of that, you start to get this phenomena, which is the white knight that turns up. So men turn up as white knights because they're like, hey, it's a woman. You know, maybe I can get some pussy from her. Who knows?
She's looking very vulnerable.
She's a young, vulnerable girl. Maybe I can save her. What are these guys surrounding her for? What's going on? So you get the male white knights, and then you get the female white knights. So here's an example of each.
Pickpockets! Pickpockets! Who are you? Who are you? Okay, keep walking. We're here. I'm not gonna touch her.
Just let go.
She should be. She should be afraid. She should be afraid.
He just doesn't give a
No more stealing! We have brought law and order back to the beautiful city of Venice. Silence! Silence!
Stop making
Call them!
We
Call
already
them!
called. We already
called them. Where are
You're not the
they?
victim, right?
The police, you're not the God.
You don't know who I am. Maybe I am God.
He really doesn't care. He's so used to dealing with all of these characters. You've got the pickpocket. There's different categories he's got for these people. But then you get the bystanders, and he's at the point where, you know, those people want to get involved because, you know, they see some injustice happening and they're like, I need to get involved in it. And to be fair, you know, they could just be harassing a woman, but you can see how angry that woman is there. The first guy is like, hey, just leave her alone. I know she's done this, but she's scared. You know,
Just
there's
let her
nothing
go.
worse than
Let her go.
Yeah, there's nothing. Look, she may have stolen from people, but a worse thing is happening right now. A woman is scared, and I haven't been laid in a long time, so please just let her go. So that's this guy.
I'm not gonna touch her.
Just let go.
You're scaring her. Like, that's the worst thing that could be happening. Like, this is a criminal who preys on tourists. Who cares if they get scared? And then you got this woman, and she's going the other side. She's like annoyed. She knows she's not going to get through, so she just like insults him as she walks off.
Silence! Silence!
Stop making
Call them!
We
Call
already
them!
called. We already
called them. Where are
You're not the
they?
victim, right?
The police, you're not the God.
You don't know who I am. Maybe I am God. Pickpocket!
She keeps talking to him as his like back is turned. It's amazing.
I love their outfits. I love their outfits. I've seen some of these videos. I haven't seen this channel though. I haven't seen an organization which are like quite like the showmen of these people.Maybe it's playing on that thing of like, we don't want to be seen as like shaming or the bullies.
Yeah.
It's more like scientific, and they'll make a public show, but it's normally one-on-one. I've never seen it where there's a group, there's an organization. It's only like one person out there, and she's against the wall, and they've made a semicircle around her.
Take the glasses off! Take the glasses off now! Shame! Pickpocket!
Well, they're screaming to the crowd, pickpocket. And the guy's dressed like I don't know if this is part of what they do, but he's dressed like a tourist, isn't he? He's got the exposed bum bag. He's dressed like a vulnerable tourist, but he's anything but.
Yeah, they make themselves the mark. So they go up to pickpockets and scammers. And I mean, obviously pickpockets are the worst, but scammers are almost as bad. And they're these organized groups, and they're never locals to the area. You know, they're always people from other countries coming in and doing this stuff. And I don't know, man. You can probably tell. I'm just so excited just watching this. I'm like, I'd love to just go and join. I just want to. This seems like such a noble, fun cause. Just every day
Join the
going out
cause.
for an adventure. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's that guy. That is Tyler Oliveira. I am going to subscribe to his Patreon because obviously there's stuff that you can't show there because he's got Fred with him, and they end up getting into conflict with guys because women will play the victim, but men will get aggressive and they like attack in packs of guys. So they end up just brawling with these dudes in the middle of the street, and they've got like an MMA fighter, that Fred dude, who goes around to protests and stuff like that.
Charlie Veitch's bodyguard.
That's Charlie Veitch's his bodyguard, but he's with a bunch of other people. And that guy knows how to fight, but he knows how to do it in a way where he won't really hurt the other person. He'll just kind of shock them so he can knock them off their feet. He just lots a lot of face slaps and stuff like that. Yeah. It's quite funny.
There's a lot of leg kicks as well.
Leg kicks are great, in confrontations. That's something I'm learning from watching this stuff.
It's an alpha move, a leg kick.
He did warn you, mate. He did warn you.
This is Sparta!
The leg kick is it's awesome. So there's this other guy, he's a South African guy. His name's Kurt Kaz. And he's another one of these dudes that I've been watching. Here he is in Paris. When we were in Paris, there was loads of this stuff going on, loads of people coming up. There's a bunch of different scams. One of them is you have women who pretend to be blind or have some disability, and they try to get you to sign some kind of, maybe it looks like a petition to the government or something like that. And you're like, oh yeah, of course, I'll sign that. But then they start asking you for money and they pressure you for a donation. And it's just a way of preying on people's vulnerabilities and them wanting to get out of a situation. So they'll eventually end up giving you money. So here's where they confront these two women who are doing it. Like I said, today is all about women. Next week, we're going to do the men. But we'll start with the victim culture. So
equal opportunities on this channel.
No, I'm going to start with because the women, they're the ones that marshal the men to come in and then protect them. So women make men dangerous in this case. So here we are. We have somebody and they are signing this thing and they're about to get scammed. And he just walks in as they're about to make the sale and just ruins it. It's so good. And at first she tries to reason with him.
Don't fall for it, man. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. Get out of here. You're scamming people.
You scared?
Yeah, that's a scam. It's fake. Out of here. Get out of here.
Hey.
You represent your charity very well. Your charity is not real.
Your charity is not real. And then she just says basically. So that starts off. She's like, oh, it's a scam. Next thing she says, you. And this is where they turn violent. So look at this.
Hello.
You go. You go. You go.
Now, she's just picked up a handful of gravel and thrown it at him. That's pretty dangerous if that hits you in the eye. So, yeah, she's got the gravel, but Fred's got a umbrella, and she immediately finds out that her weapon is completely useless when a guy's just got a simple umbrella, which must be quite annoying because she would have probably done this a bunch of times, and it's her go-to. But, you know, you've come up against, instead of just a random member of the public and their frame that they're in, you're coming up against people who are actively going out to make content against you, and you ran into the wrong people, basically.
You're going to assault me? 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 Oh, nice. That's assault. That's assault. You're getting arrested. Nice.
The whole time you've got a bodyguard there whose only job, you've got two people coming after you, a bodyguard whose only job is to make sure nobody gets hurt. And the other guy is a South African angry guy who's giving you all the time. Oh, you got a weapon there? You're trying to hurt me? Or you're going to get arrested? The police, well, they will come. They run into different areas and they just start filming stuff. And this Kurt Kaz is so great because he's walking through cities and half the time he just talks about how bad Europe's getting. Look at this here, disgusting. Crime everywhere, there's scammers everywhere, rubbish everywhere, this is disgusting. And then someone says, hey, no film, because, you know, people who are doing bad stuff don't want to be filmed generally. They're certainly, I know most people don't want to be filmed, but they're the most vocal about it. And he always just turns around and goes, yeah, we can film whatever we want. It's so good. No, we can film. You just run into this like Boer accent.
And get done.
It's remarkable how effective that umbrella is.
Come through it.
It is.
Charity people.
So he used it to stop. It's funny because if you see her trying to get she goes, oh, there's an umbrella here. And then she tries to throw the stuff around the umbrella.
You're going to assault me? Oh, nice. That's assault. That's assault. You're getting arrested. Nice one, Fred. You think sand scares me, you fucking scumbag?
You think sand scares me, you dirtbags. Oh, Craig, I can barely control the mouse. I'm so into this. I've got adrenaline firing and my fine motor skills are off. This is so great.
There's something quite sad and scary about how quickly she goes from, she's like, you calm down.
Come on, calm down.
Like, you know, don't kind of like aggressive. And then this bit here where she just dropped, it's so, you could tell how many times she's done this before. She's been called out for doing what she does. If you're taking part in your day-to-day life and someone criticizes you, I don't think about dropping to the floor to pick up some gravel to throw in their eyes.
It depends on the situation though, doesn't it? Like if you got into a like a street fight and there was no way out of it. It was late at night or something. And then you're like surrounded by a few people and you're like, well, I can't run.
Yeah.
And the chips are down. Then maybe you'd go, okay, well, I've seen it in like The Lion King.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Where he throws some stuff in the guy's eye. So maybe I'll try that because I'm up against 3 people. But like, this is her like go-to. We see within, if now there's some stuff cut out, but we see within like a few seconds, it goes from the scammer mentality.
Don't fall for it, man. It's a scam.
To then dealing with the confrontation and being like, oh yeah, there's a scam. Just can I talk to this guy?
Yeah, that's a scam.
To then swearing at him. That's one level of aggression.
It's fake. Get out of here.
And then picking up a weapon.
You go. You go.
There's a 5th level to this, though. There's a 5th level to this, which I love. They all do it. They all do this thing. Well, female scammers do this. Male scammers go for full-on violence, but female scammers go for this. They go for a little bit of violence, passive aggression, loudness, because no one likes someone swearing. No one likes people looking at them. Then some kind of a fight, and then they go to the 5th inevitable level, which is, of course, victim.
You go. You go. You go.
Now, quickly, is that a victim there? That right there is not a victim. That is a perpetrator. Hardcore. Anyone watching this, that is hardcore a perpetrator. There's no 2 ways about it. Don't care what her background is. Don't care how difficult the country was she came from. She's in Paris. She's young. She's healthy. That is a perpetrator.
You're going to assault me? You're going to assault me? You're going to assault me?
The underneath.
You're going to assault me? Oh, nice. That's assault. That's assault. You're getting arrested. Nice one, Fred. You think sand scares me? Scumbags, you dirtbags. She's going to throw a bottle.
There we go. Now she's picked up a glass bottle. So anybody in the comments, just give me the steelman argument for how she's in the right. I just love to hear it from anybody, because there are going to be people that watch this who are like those 2 passers-by, and it's going to be like, it's a woman. Look, it's just a victim. There's 2 guys that it's a woman as a victim. And those people inevitably show up in all these situations as well.
Throw the bottle.
Glass bottle now.
And get done. Yeah, come. Come through it. The lovely charity people.
The lovely charity people. So she's now picked up a glass bottle and she's going to throw it. Funnily enough, though, a umbrella is surprisingly effective against deflecting glass bottles. It's like... amazing. I thought it was just Mary Poppins that made use of an umbrella. But no, Kurt, Kaz, and Fred, they made great use of umbrellas. So here we go. This is where the bottle doesn't work. So time to play the victim.
Come. Here we go. Scumbag. That's it. That's it. Get the bottle out your hand. Get the bottle out your hand.
All he did was knock the bottle out of his hand and then pushed him away as they're attacking. I mean, once someone starts throwing a bottle at you, that is like a lethal weapon. It just is. So they go over, they push her with the umbrella, and the second they make any kind of contact, they do what that other girl did and just start screaming.
Get the bottle out your hand. Get the bottle out your hand.
Because then they're in the 5th mode, which is, oh, I'm a victim. I need to get out of this. I need help from passers-by. If they're just quickly looking, they will see a woman screaming and 2 men pursuing her. You can guarantee the public, rightfully so, will get involved, and they have.
Wait. Hey. Hey, yeah, call the police. No. I have it on film.
I have it on film. Yeah, we have it on film here. His voice is brilliant. The accent is perfect for it.
I have it on film. They strike and cry out at the same time. And they're fellow scammers.
And then they're there pleading with the armed military police. Just like, no, this guy was chasing me. I'm a woman. And there's literally women that get pregnant and do this. Like, now this isn't anything about women. This is just about female scammers and what they use. Male scammers get crazy violent. So it's just victim and perpetrator and just violence. It's amazing. So you see this over and over and over again. They've got like 5 modes. Scam mode is number 1. Then they get into the confrontation. Then they start getting loud and like use profanity in the confrontation. Then they move to violence. And when there's any kind of retaliation, which isn't really violent, it's generally just defensive, they turn into like massive screaming victims. You literally see it on their face. They'll go from angry to like this within like a second. It's incredible to watch. Like watch her again. Just watch her demeanor change the second he approaches her with an umbrella, which is basically a shield.
That's it. That's it. Get the ball out your hand. Get the ball out your hand. Get the ball out your hand. Wait. Hey, yeah, call the police.
Yeah, call the police, yeah.
No.
The scammers often get let off with this stuff. There's just such a problem in Europe now. That these scammers, they always get let off, and quite often these guys end up getting like tickets for disturbing the peace. It's like, look, if a scammer's out there scamming, the person quietly gets scammed and then goes off and sulks and has a bad impression of Paris in their mind. It maybe ruins their vacation. That's not disturbing the peace. Disturbing the peace is you calling out the pickpockets and chasing them. That's not something we like to see. We like to have silent, horrible going on, but just don't be loud, a loud vigilante. That's absolutely not what we want. Don't make a scene. That's why there's such a problem in Barcelona is a huge one. Paris. That's why whenever we go on vacation, we never go in like peak season, because we're like, first off, too many people, but too many people means you're going to get a lot more scammers. So yeah, I've been watching this mistakenly late at night and going to try and sleep with this level of energy. I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know how I'd react in these situations. I wouldn't be as calm as these guys. I wouldn't be. I can't even be calm watching it, but I do love it. I love every minute of it. So yeah, Kurt Kaz on YouTube and Tyler Oliveira both have Patreon. Highly recommend it. Both links are in the description. Highly recommend you go check their videos out. What are your thoughts, Craig?
There's something frustrating about it. The turn, I think, to go so fast from having a bottle in your hand to calling for help like you've been wronged. And I suppose, like, looking at that footage, you can understand why the public got involved, because if you did just turn your head, Fred was running at them he was closing the distance, which I guess if someone's going to throw a glass bottle at you, it's probably a good move, isn't it, to close that distance and not allow that bottle to come at you full force. How quick there's a group of support for, like, probably from the very people who are going to get conned in this area. Like, everyone's a mark, everyone's a potential victim.
He chases after her and look, she ends up on the ground. And all he's doing is pushing her with an umbrella. I think the second contact is made, they take like look, she's bending her knee there. So that's her. She hasn't been knocked over. That's a bent knee. That's someone collapsing into the ground. And it's like, just play the victim as much as possible. He goes over and just knocks the bottle out of her hand. And they just immediately take the ground, just go straight to the ground. And then you get like the people, the public coming in to, I mean, it makes sense that they want to help. Yeah, you see a lot of this stuff. It's go from the perpetrator to the victim. And I think that's why I find that's what adds insult to injury with this stuff. They're out there ruining people's vacations. And whether it's a vacation or just pickpocketing somebody, like you're just a scumbag basically. And then you play the victim when you get some kind of retribution. It's horrendous.
It's slightly different to pickpocketing. It's like taking advantage of someone in another way. It's taking advantage of them, like by confusing them, by tricking them. The people who are going to lose money might walk away from that willingly and potentially not have a bad experience at all. They might feel like they've done some good. As opposed to, if you're sneaking something out of a pocket or a bag and you get caught, that's probably far more right for confrontation. But the way that they reacted makes me think that they probably tried a bit of everything, because if you're in like a non-violent type of scam, I don't think you quickly go to drop to the floor and pick up a hand of gravel. That's just that's a person who's been in some confrontations before by people.
Yeah, that's just the current most lucrative thing for these two chicks. But they will have been in pickpocketing, no doubt. But the thing is, the scam isn't you go and you get people to sign up and pay for a charity, and it's a fake charity. It's just going to you. They approach people and they say you need to sign this. It's like a petition almost, but then they start to pressure you for money afterwards. So it starts off very friendly. It's like the bracelet scam. You know, when I'm going to put a bracelet on your hand, it's free. And then they like ask for a donation and then they start getting angry. So it starts with, oh, I'm doing something good, I'm being a good person, to then asking for money and then pressuring more and more, and eventually they do get angry. I've been around scammers like this, like when I was in Russia. I think me and my mum went up to, first one was someone came up to us and they had these 2 pigeons and we like have a bird. So we just went and had a look at the bird. Then she came and put them on my mum's shoulder. And we were like, oh, don't worry. And then we didn't want to take a photo or anything. Then she took them back and then she started asking for money. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to give you any money. We didn't even want to get involved. We were just looking at the birds in public. And the next thing, she just starts coming after me, yelling. And then a guy did. And I was like, you're not getting any money, mate. But so it's this innocent, you're doing a good thing. I want some money now, even though I wasn't upfront about the money. No, you have to give me some money. And then eventually they use the same kind of tactics. I'm sure they don't go violent with it, but it just shows, like you said, the fact that they go violent so quickly shows that they're not legitimate and they are using shady tactics with people. And then they turn the victim. Ugh.
It shows that it's happened before to them. Like, I don't think anyone, like you were saying before about maybe you've watched The Lion King. Like, I've seen The Lion King, but that just wouldn't pop into my mind. Like, the fluidity that she did there, she's done that a lot. Like that's like, oh no, this is one of the tools in my toolkit if things go bad.
She's got a lot of reps down of picking up gravel and throwing it at people, because it was the first thing she did without even looking. She didn't even look down. She's like, oh, there's gravel around me. This is my stomping grounds and this is my weapon.
This is my weapon.
If that doesn't work, then I'm just an innocent woman being chased by a guy.
Innocent, some sort of
blind, pregnant woman.
You're like a Mr. Miyagi story of like some like expert who knows all the tricks. And he's just like, come on in, let me teach you the ways, kind of thing. And what happens if you get called out? What happens if someone's got an umbrella? You go over the umbrella with the gravel. That's what you do.
So those are 2 really good channels. All they do is go around basically looking for scammers, pickpocketers. I think they started, like Kirk has, I think he started just by doing travel vlogs, and then he just started getting more interested in, from what I've seen, the crime that's going on, and now he's basically going out looking for trouble with this stuff. Not really looking for trouble, but looking for pickpocketers, which ends up being trouble. So then
that's the other funny thing about like these channels and like auditors and stuff. It must be really frustrating if you don't find bad people on your day. You'd be like, oh my god, everyone was so pleasant and nice. The police officer came and he was so nice to me. I had nothing.
they were awesome. I'm noticing like this thing with Chinese people is they don't stand for any of this stuff. So if they get pickpocketed, they will go out and they will like catch the pickpocketer, from what I've seen, from a small sample size, and they apprehend the pickpocketer. Here's the first one. Now listen to the way she tries a bunch of the tactics here, but just listen to the way he talks to her. It's so funny.
Police, come. Don't move, you don't hit you. No, I don't want you to say something. You call police already. You stay here. Otherwise, you will get arrested. Right.
This is the guy.
I will put you on the floor. If you move, no. He will put you on the floor. Calm down. No, then you shut up.
He just says, can you shut up, right in her ear. She's doing a bunch of those tactics again. She's there, she's trying pleading, and then, I mean, she's a rat trapped in a trap, basically. She's trying pleading, she's trying being loud, and then she's trying to, oh, my arm's hurting, anything to get more people around. But she's surrounded by like Chinese people, and they don't take any of it at all.
No, I don't want you to say something. You call police already. You stay here. Otherwise, you will get arrested.
She's got an umbrella as well.
I will put you on the floor. If you move, no. He will put you on the floor. Calm down. No, then you shut up.
That makes me laugh so much. The really thick Chinese accent. He's like, can you shut up, in her ear? What a legend. I will put you on the floor. And then his mom or whatever is like, he will put you on the floor. She's like, oh no. And I'm only surrounded with just like Chinese people. Like, I'm not on your side. I'm with those 2. We're here having a good weekend.
It's a tough crowd.
She's got an umbrella as well. Yeah. That's going to be the red umbrella.
She's got 2 umbrellas. She's got one that she's holding and one that she's using and one in her hand.
Oh my God. Yeah. You don't want to mess with a Chinese lady who's got an umbrella. She's been watching Kurt Kaz videos. She's been on the Fred training course. Here's another one. Another Chinese guy, another city, another pickpocket, another apprehension, another, will you shut up?
Pickpockets! Shut the
There's the sound. You see it? There's the white knight. It happens the same way every single time. Yelling, pleading. She turns violent. He returns with way excessive force, to be fair, but she doesn't get hurt from it. But she realizes she's in that mode, which is, oh, I can't use violence on this person because they will actually defend themselves or use violence back. And then the wailing victim, damsel in distress starts, and in comes a concerned female. Let's see that again.
pickpockets!
You see, she's trying her best to get out of this situation here. Then she'll start shouting, and
adrenaline
then
must be going like mad.
Yeah. Shut up.
Shut the
To be fair to her, he is roughing her up a bit first. He pulls her to the right, look.
He hits her in the face with her own hand.
Yeah.
Before she hits him with the bag.
He's had enough. He's had enough, that guy. Where did she come from? A woman heard the sound and then just comes running through the crowd.
I mean, good for her. That's a good response. Obviously, I'm not sure if she knows what situation she's getting herself into, but fair play to her for trying to help someone in distress.
Yeah. I mean, this one isn't as cut and dry. This is someone they've ran into who's obviously had enough of pickpockets and who really knows what happened here. Maybe she isn't a pickpocket. We didn't see any of the stuff that's going on. The reason I showed this was I just love how when Chinese people confront pickpockets, they always tell them to shut up to their face. They're like, I'm not listening to any of your stuff. The woman was like, let me just call the person. No, I don't want to hear anything you have to say because she knows everything that's coming out of her mouth is just pure poison. Anyway, this is not the end of the pickpockets and stuff. Next week, I'm going to show you what happens when Tyler Oliveira and Fred confront male pickpockets and especially gangs of them. And of course, we've many of the same levels that they go through, but each stage gets way more extreme to the point where they're like, well, there's too many guys around us here. We have to be really careful. But,
there's too many guys around here. We need more umbrellas. That's what we need.
Yeah. I'm still to see a guy do the ultra victim thing, but yeah, I think it's just sexual dimorphism in play there. What do you think, Craig? How's your adrenaline after watching that?
It is quite spiked, especially after that last one. That last one, like you say, it wasn't as cut and dry. It'd be interesting to see what happened beforehand, what happened in that guy's life, because he is not having any of
that.
This.
Guy's not having. I mean, this guy's not having it, right? This first Chinese guy is not having it at all.
Shut up.
But the second guy is like, I am really not having this. He's really pissed off at the pickpocketing. At some point, when this becomes so viral, it's going to get to the point where people can just say pickpocket and then start chasing people and assaulting them. That'll become a new weapon. You know what I mean? Scream. It's like, oh, I'm the victim. Also, you could just, if you wanted to just go out assaulting people, I don't want to give people ideas, but you could just be like, pickpocket. It's like getting the mob on your side in a way, which is one of the scary things about confrontations is the mob that's surrounding you. These guys are obviously very aware of it. The pickpockets are aware of it. People forming mobs is terrifying stuff.
I only just noticed on that second showing that the couple standing next to him here that are still in shot, he tells the woman who's just tried to intervene, no, she's a pickpocket. Which is interesting, like you say, how does he know? I'm guessing you're putting people in a situation, you're putting the crowd in a situation where they have to believe one of your stories. And if you're, like you said, I don't know how many people who have ever done this, but if you're just shouting, oh no, this is justified because they're a pickpocket, and the crowd are like, yeah, this is justified, even though they may have not done anything wrong.
You get a mob on your side.
Yeah.
you get a mob on your side. It's like crowd dynamics in high pressure situations are pretty wild. It'd be interesting to find out what makes a crowd like turn on people, and why. Generally speaking, though, there's this undercurrent in, especially in Europe, which is like, this is getting worse and worse and worse. And when people are seeing it, they're like, yeah, good, kind of get them kind of thing, because they're just so sick. So in a lot of the Kurt Kaz and the Tyler Oliveira videos, you get the odd white knight that comes in, which, to be fair, they don't know what's going on. They just see someone in distress and they're stepping up. But then you get a load of people afterwards going, good, I'm so sick. And especially people who work in the cafes and stuff, they're like, I'm sick of that guy being here. I'm sick of the two group of women doing that. This huge crime family, we see them all the time. And it's not like old school mafia crime family.
I'm in the carton and waste management business. I'm only here because I'm a friend of Silvio's. You're a friend of Silvio's.
It's just literally like 5 gypsies that are robbing people, and they're like, they're ruining the experience of people coming to like our cafe or something. But the police just don't do anything. So you've got these online vigilantes literally monitor. I'm literally going to go and sign up to their Patreon to see some of the stuff. It's amazing. So my favorite confrontations. It's got every ingredient that I like. It's got somebody confronting somebody, playing the victim, and it's got crowd dynamics. So the pressure is really on when there's a huge crowd that's in public. It's awesome. So yeah, Tyler Oliveira, nice. Kurt Kaz, and I guess also Chinese confrontation pickpocket, and you'll find these
Chinese
guys.
Tourists.
Chinese tourists. I was trying to find what happened to before this, and I was like, what do I type into Google? Chinese confrontation. It's just, you start finding like bloody Tiananmen Square and stuff like that.
So, a bit of a change in pace. This is very, this is all conversational, and this is absolute classic Joe Rogan. This is about 12 years old, and every once in a while, I think about this argument. It pops up in my brain once every 3 or 4 years. I'm like, oh, I need to remember what the number was and go and find it and watch it back. So this is for old school JRE fans. When we start playing this, Joe is in the center. We've got his guest on, Ari Shafir, who's a good friend, stand-up comedian to his right. And then another friend, Brian Redban, who is his producer. And he is what young Jamie is now. He is like the producer of the show, but persistent guest. He's involved. He's involved even more so than young Jamie is now, because he was quite often on camera. They're coming to the end of the podcast, and Joe has got something on his mind here. Because Brian, just for a bit of background, Brian is starting his podcast network, and this is 12 years ago, so it's not the podcast landscape that we're in today. He's got his own podcast network. He's bringing in stand-up comedians, and it's obviously a good idea. If Brian would have made this work, he would have been probably just as rich as Joe Rogan is now if he could have done this.
It was Your Mum's House, Tom Segura. He started that off. He started Bill Burr's podcast off. He started a bunch of different podcasts off. He was the tech guy who knew comics and could help them get set up and get going.
Yeah, and he did their quality control. He made sure that everything was up to a certain standard and to get people out there. We're just going to play this now because Joe he's got problems and thoughts about this, and it's interesting the way that this plays out and how Joe brings this, because at the moment it's just a pleasant conversation. It goes off the rails quick. So I'm just going to play the first bit.
By the way, I thought that was really hilarious. I saw a video of you explaining to people how to download the Bone Zone, and you did it as a handicapped person.
As a handicapped person?
No, it's because
so many people don't know how to do it.
One, Brendan Walsh was complaining that people were having a hard time finding his podcast.
It's pretty
great podcast, by the way.
Well, I think he wants it to be under his name. Is that what it is?
No, he's just like, people say that they can't search Bone Zone and it comes up on iTunes. And so I was like, well, let me show you how to do it.
Wait, but you can't show the people. It's the people searching. That's who you have to convince, not Brendan.
How many people that are in your little network?
You
have the network as the name of their show, and then their show next, instead of the way everybody else has it.
I think out of, let's say, if there was 100,000 people, I think I hear it maybe 2 times on Twitter.
No. I'm talking about the people that actually host their shows. How many of them want to change it to their own name? They must.
All of them.
No, I don't think
all
so.
All of them, right?
Yeah. No, I would say none of them. Now,
What?
Right now.
Come on. Brendan Walsh doesn't want it to be in his name and then have you as the network second?
No. I mean, look what happened with Freddie Lockhart. When Freddie Lockhart did it, he back.
No. First of all, Freddie didn't. He left you. He stopped doing it. And when he left you, it wasn't that he was, that he went under his name and that's why people couldn't find him. It's like nobody gave a about it anymore.
You said you were going to find a way to have people have them come up with their own.
No, that's not what you're saying.
Tons of times.
No, it is an extra
That's
step
not
for
enough.
to have
That's
people.
not enough. If people, you consider the numbers of people that are listening to yours, but in order for him to have it go off on his own, think about that. He was doing yours for so long, and it still hadn't developed a name where he could
That was
go
one
on
of
his
the
own.
number one podcasts on Death Squad. When it left, it went to 170.
But
You don't understand what I'm saying?
No.
What I'm saying is all the time he's doing it with you, still hadn't gotten independent. He was still attached to your name. So it's almost like he wasted time doing a good podcast under your name and never got his name out there. Been his own, it would have stuck with him.
Or if they had their own name on Death Squad.
Do you know how many?
Yeah.
Do you know
Does that
how
make
many,
sense?
Yeah.
Do you know how many podcasts that there's comics out there that you've never heard of in your life?
See
Did you know
Joe
Mark
shaking
Ellis
off
had
some of
2
that
podcasts?
tension.
But Mark Ellis is not a famous comedian.
Yeah, I remember this. argument. I used to listen to the Death Squad stuff. And to be fair, I see what Joe's saying. I also see what Brian's saying, but they're both not being objective. Ari's being objective, I think, but he's not attached to it. Brian wants to turn it into some kind of business, and he used it as a launch pad for comics, and he was right. I only found out about the Bone Zone because it was on Death Squad, and I only found out about Death Squad because of Brian Redban. So probably the ideal way of doing it is to start there and then go, right, the Bone Zone is now going to be running on Death Squad, but simultaneously run its other one, and then tell people for like 2 months, this is the last time you can get it. You can get more of it on the other podcast network. You only get the first half hour here now, and slowly phase it out and move them over. But Brian and Joe sees it as Brian is holding comics back, because rightfully so, you won't be able to find. I could never find those podcasts. So like, I'd want to find like the latest Bone Zone. I have to scroll through all the Death Squads to see it. Like Death Squad 1, the Bone Zone, Death Squad 2, this. So I see both sides of it. But you've got this, you're my subordinate, I am the master thing going on with Joe and Brian. But also you got Brian being like, well, this isn't a problem, and just ignoring the real concerns that people have.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because Ari is more objective, but Ari is definitely on Joe's side here. I mean, even back 12 years ago, and Ari, I don't think is as affected by this Joe Rogan orbit as maybe some of the other comics out in LA and Austin are now. But I don't I can see Joe's point in terms of I'm not that interested in technically who's correct here. What I am interested in is that I think Joe is angry about something else, which we're gonna come to. I think this is subtext for it.
Oh, you know what it is? Do you know what the other thing is?
We're gonna see it.
Oh, it comes up to I listened to like the first 800 or so Joe Rogans because I was so into podcasting. So I remember this kind of, but it just blends in with the rest.
So this is episode 211, and this is at the very end of the episode, and the conversation breaks down very hard here. For reasons that we'll see in a bit. So much so that when they end it, because they had a hard out at about the 3 hour mark, and this starts around the 2 hour 45 mark, that they decide that they're going to come back to try and wrap this up, because it ends on such a sour note. They have to come back, and they did a part 2. So I mean, I don't put that in because everyone should go and find this. It's still on YouTube now. It's a great great confrontation. But it's so funny because they have this really heated argument, and then at the very end, Joe's like, and shout out to the flashlights.
Shut the
yeah. Be very careful to shut the up.
No, I would say none of them. No.
What?
So be very careful. Shut up.
I'm quite sympathetic to Brian at the moment because this was brought to his door on a podcast. It's not as big as it is now, but it was still very big even back in 2012, 2013. Yeah. There's still thousands of people watching this live and hundreds of thousands of people who'd be watching it. And out of nowhere, Joe is attacking Brian's business decisions. He's belittling it. He's like, on your little show.
Your little show. Oh.
Yeah.
I hate when people say stuff like that.
I think you need to wind your neck in and get back in your little office, mate.
Live as well, like on a podcast. But let's move on to point 2, and we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people don't know that I'm on these podcasts because I'm producing them.
The only problem that I have is that we use the name Death Squad for all of us. And if you got a network that's Death Squad, and
then
it's,
becomes one of those people.
And
not necessarily.
It's not, but
No,
it's
if
not.
you
The
appear
real
on
Death Squad way to do it is to do Joey's podcast, Ari's podcast,
but they don't want
Duncan's
that.
podcast, to put it on a page somewhere.
Well, that's called a link page. We could put that if
Brian,
if we
why are
want
you
to.
defensive right now? Because no one's saying anything bad.
Because
I hate when people. Well, I hate it when people do that.
Yeah.
When you're in a conversation and it's getting heated, and instead of, if you're getting defensive, it's because you're attacking him. I'd say, I think it's okay to say, why are you shouting? Can we please not shout? Can you please not push me? Can we not escalate this? But you're the one that's picking the fight. So you can't pick a fight and then say, why are you being defensive? Why are you hitting yourself? I hate that so much. It's such a bad faith attack on somebody. And it's like, why are you getting annoyed? Why are you being defensive?
Why are you hitting yourself?
That stuff makes you get annoyed and be defensive. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's in bad faith. I hate that Joe does that. He did that with Steven Crowder.
Yeah, he's not wrong as well, by the way. Brian is being defensive, but he's being defensive because he's just been... And also, it's suddenly shifted to what Joe is actually annoyed about. It started with, why don't the people on your podcast want their own name on there? Surely all of them do. On your little network, why don't they want their own name as the title of the show? And Brian, I mean, I've cut this up a lot. So Brian he's already been he's trying to defend his platform. This is the business that he's trying to grow. And then suddenly it's just like, well, why are you calling it Death Squad?
Sort of a death squad like they had in Brazil some years back.
Because that is proprietary to our group. You shouldn't own that. That's what he's annoyed about.
Yeah, because Joey Diaz called them all. The background to it is that Joe obviously is into MMA and hangs around fighters and comedians. And at some point, Joey Diaz is loud Cuban, but he sounds like an Italian gangster, essentially. Comic comes in and he sees Joe Rogan with Eddie Bravo and some of the high-level fighters. And he goes, oh, here's the Death Squad over here. And then Brian then took that as a name. And Joe obviously isn't happy about it. It's such a childish thing to not be happy about, especially considering where Joe is now. He's like interviewing presidents and stuff. Can you imagine him being annoyed now about the Death Squad? It's such a small thing, which, look, we've all done it. We've all done it, but it does feel like something that children do in a playground. Well, that's our thing. You're not allowed to be part of that thing. And it's like, I thought this was just a fun thing. We've all done it before.
So Brian mentions that. I don't know if this is in the cut. Brian said he's just like, you're acting like the Death Squad, some sort of treehouse. And you don't want other kids to come in.
Yeah, you're acting like this is like a tree house, and you're like, you're not allowed in this tree house.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm
tree house. That's really belittling.
Makes no sense at all.
No, it makes a lot of sense. What I'm saying is,
what I do at Death Squad's 100% different than what you're doing.
Feels like it's being attacked.
Exactly.
And people on the internet think you're doing the same thing because what it is.
You think I'm doing the same thing? What?
Because what I'm doing is you're pretty much saying just because I'm using the word Death Squad.
I'm saying the right way to call it Death Squad.
The right way to call it Death Squad?
It should be all of us.
Death Squad is...
Do not talk about Fight Club.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
That way I'm doing all these shows. I've been on the road with you. Sam Tripoli has been on the road with you, right?
Freddie Locker. Stop it. You're not doing people that have been on the road. There's a big difference between having someone on as a guest and having someone who you're doing a show with them. And then you're calling it Death Squad and you're putting it on a network.
Right.
I mean, you essentially have taken over that name and you your own stuff.
It's Death Squad. I'm not Death Squad.
You're on every one.
I'm not Death Squad. All of us are Death Squad.
You're on every one of them.
Because
this is so childish.
Yes.
This is so childish. If you're getting into the questions like, I'm not Death Squad, all of us are Death Squad.
Like a goddamn Nicaraguan Death Squad.
Well, that's not how Death Squad should be used. That is like, that is really childish. I love it so much.
Brian Wordban now has been wound up. I mean, this has probably gone on for like 10 minutes now, and he's been trying to defend himself, and he is very defensive. It's public as well. He knows how many people, he's producing the show. He knows that how many people are going out there. But you're right as well at the idea that Joe is pushing Brian to breaking point. and Brian is getting flustered. His voice is being raised. He's constantly trying to find arguments to defend himself and new arguments now because the conversation's changing. And then whenever Joe wants, he puts the brakes on. He's just like, why are you being so defensive? It's so frustrating to see it play out.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying that to call it the Death Squad is kind of weird. Because the Death Squad is supposed to be all of us. And most of the people that are in the Death Squad aren't on the deathsquad.tv
okay,
site.
So if one of you other guys did something with the Death Squad name, the 4 people that was in the room.
No, I do not. I feel it's family. It's all the people that we're family with.
And I think
Death Squad is us as friends. And
who?
You're just
Who is us?
tagging all the people that were hanging out together in that group.
Oh, this is so childish.
Not the whole Death Squad at that group.
Joey Diaz
was
Eddie
not
Bravo.
there when Opie called us Death Squad.
He thought
Opie called them it.
He here then because you were really having a problem with me using the name.
I'm not
Death
having a
Squad.
problem at all. I'm just saying it would be nice.
We were all
if,
at a radio station.
I can't even believe that you don't see another side of this. I can't believe that you don't see
I see what you're saying, but it's kind of funny that I've been doing it since 2007, and now you're just making it.
All I've said ever is
who does this? Who does that gets to choose who's on it? Because you said some. You
How
might
about
think
me? How about I'll choose?
Yeah, but why?
How about I choose?
Why
shouldn't I?
considered Death Squad?
I'll tell you this.
I was going to say, why would I be considered Death Squad?
How about because I'm going to treat it fairly? How about because I'm...
what is he on about?
Tell me how I'm not.
Because there's somebody that you might want on there that I might not want on there, and there might be somebody
like who?
that Ari wants on
Duncan?
there.
You don't think Duncan deserves to be in because you and him are having an argument? You don't think that Duncan deserves to be a part of the Death Squad? He's been
What
on
is your
Brother
argument? You were trying to tell me before, but you were too... I don't like having arguments when you were...
Silliness. I love the way Joe dismisses something disagreement Red Band is having with Duncan, and he just goes, now look, it may be silly, but Joe's in the middle of a very silly argument. Very silly, because it's got to the point where he's like, well, that he started, but he's like, why couldn't I run Death Squad? Well, maybe I can choose. Well, why should you choose instead of me? Fairness. It's like, oh, we can have some objective measure come into it. Joe, no doubt, is no longer like this, and this probably is something he's watched back and feels bad for. It's just a shame that everything that you do now is recorded, and this can't just be something that you think back to and be like, oh God, I can't believe. Like, as I'm watching this, I'm remembering times that I've been like this in all situations. I've been Ari, I've been Joe, I've been Brian. Do you know what I've never been, though? I've never been a dirty pickpocket who plays the victim.
Shut up.
Anyway, let's get back to this. I'm getting dragged back. It's the adrenaline.
Just before you start, notice how it's now. So this has probably gone on for probably like 10, 12 minutes now. That's been chopped up. Lots of conversations about the history of the name Death Squad. A lot of rationalization. And Joe's frustrated, but Brian does one thing here where he actually calls out, okay, well, you've obviously got a problem with this. And Joe's like, no, I don't have a problem with this. He obviously does, because they've been talking about it for 15 minutes. Joe's so frustrated now, he pivots to the third thing. It's gone from generally how you run your business to actually it's the name, Death Squad, that's the problem. And now he's
Your
frustrated.
attitude?
It's like he's gone on to something personal that's happened between Red Band and Duncan Trussell. Yeah, that he finds stupid and silly.
This is a pattern of behavior with you.
Yeah. So now Brian has to explain himself. I don't put any of this in, but Brian now has to go on the third form of defense. He's like putting up shields, like 1, 2, and there's just
umbrellas.
Like, tell me about this train wreck of a relationship between you and Duncan. And I was like, well, I have to talk about this now as well.
You should have just pulled a Fred umbrella out. Like, no, leave me alone.
You're gonna assault me? You're gonna assault me?
Leave me alone. You got the black guy on the other side tapping the umbrella. Be very careful.
Be very careful.
The argument comes from Duncan getting upset at...
And he just did.
No, you only paid the MCs.
That's not true.
Okay.
Again, Joe.
You should pay.
Now, are you going to throw me under the bus too? Because you have no idea
Brian,
who I pay, right?
Okay, if you started paying people recently, this is a different thing.
I'm turning off.
Don't turn off, bro.
I'm not getting into this again because one thing.
Don't raise your voice and don't get crazy. Listen, I am not agreeing. First of all, let me explain that Duncan shouldn't have done what he did.
It's pushing someone to breaking point and then just like, why are you acting?
Yeah, I hate that. Crowder really called Joe out on that. Like, Crowder was like, what are you doing with this? I'm not getting involved in what it is that you want to do. I'm not getting into a fight.
Probably wouldn't talk about the marijuana issue. I wouldn't care. Because here's the thing. I don't care. Traffic fatalities regarding marijuana have skyrocketed.
Google that because that's nonsense.
No,
you
we
know,
wrote about it
drunk driving arrests have dropped. What do you mean you've? Well, first of all,
we wrote about.
We'll have to go over that at some point actually, because I'd like to see how Joe's changed, because he has learned a lot from this. Which everyone makes these mistakes, but that kind of that's not a good tactic to employ. Unless you want to just win, what is winning in this case? Upsetting the guy and making him seem irrational. You don't seem the most rational. You just seem like cold, calculated, and quite manipulative.
Yeah. It looks like you're trying to rewrite what's just happened. It's like
what's just happened. Yeah.
And realistically, what just happened is Joe has brought 3 separate grievances to Brian and has forced Brian to try and defend himself 3 times. Now, Brian could have definitely handled that better, because he's got defensive and never admitted any kind of accountability for any 3. He didn't have an umbrella. Joe's just like, well, what about Duncan? Under the umbrella.
Underneath. Yeah. Duncan, Death Squad, fairness, me.
You're going to assault me?
Right. So this is Joe trying to wrap up now, and I think Joe is. This is where more of that comes out. It's like the why are you acting crazy kind of thing.
Then okay, man, listen, you're sounding like a little kid. This is craziness, because I'm not being mad at you at all.
But people are attacking on podcasts.
But no one here's attacking you, bro.
No one's attacking
you. And I are friends. We're like brothers.
Oh,
it's like a brother. We're all here together. We're trying to talk, but you're like really trigger strung. And one of the reasons is because you feel like they're attacking you for this choice, and you're trying to defend this choice.
I am.
Sometimes, Brian, when you get really mad at something, it's because people are right. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means they might have a point, and you need to step back.
This is the reason why I'm pissed off at this, or we're originally pissed off of it.
Oh, I really want to go back and watch all of that again.
Yeah, it's great.
Because I want to see the treehouse comment.
Yeah, it's really good. I probably watch this once every 4 or 5 years when I remember, when it pops into my brain. I'm like, I need to find that again. But yeah,
I
like to say, no, it's hard to judge. No one wants to be judged from what they did 12 years ago, and everyone has bad days and stuff. But I just I feel sympathy for Brian watching this. I'm definitely on his side, even though he's defensive and he could have handled this in a million better ways. He is being gaslit here in that, even Joe at the end is saying, sometimes when you get angry, you make bad decisions and stuff. It's just like, this is your problem. If you just dealt with this better or thought about this differently, this wouldn't be happening. But this was brought to Brian's door. He didn't ask for any of this. And he's getting crucified on air on one of his own podcasts.
Yeah, Joe's picked a fight with Brian, and he's had a thing that he wanted to get to, and he got to it. He got to the things he wanted to get to. And then he's employing this really, I can understand if Brian was on the defensive and using that tactic, but Rogan going on the offensive and using that tactic it's not good. And the funny thing is that he does this again years later with Steven Crowder when the show's much bigger. And he starts off by setting up an uneven fight, should we say. He wasn't really picking a fight with Crowder, but he was setting up an uneven thing, wasn't he? Where he was going, well, marijuana does this because of, we'll just look it up right now. And he's got his guy who's on his side who can look up any statistic.
Google that, because that's nonsense.
No.
Crowder's like, Joe, let's not do this. I don't want to get into, this isn't going to be a fruitful conversation because I don't have a guy that can look stuff up, and I'm just going to be batting away these dumb things. Neither of us are well read on this. And then Joe goes on these tactics, and he's like, why are you getting upset? And he starts calling me, why are you being a little bitch? I remember him saying. And it ended badly, and then he invites Crowder on again to clear the air, because I think, Red Band had a decent sized audience, but it's not Steven Crowder with his audience, who at the time would have been similar size to Joe's. Joe's is obviously massive now. But yeah, it was funny to see Joe having to backpedal on that, and that's going to be an interesting one to look at again.
In fairness to Joe, I think he did apologize immediately, because I think they had a few drinks as well. Joe was, I think, a bit intoxicated, and I think he apologized immediately the next day, because he did. I mean, he brought him on as a guest and then really tried to get into the weeds, and multiple times Crowder was trying to withdraw. Crowder handled it way better than Red Band did here. Red Band could have tried the same thing if he wasn't so emotionally involved, which is just, look, you make a good point, Joe. I need to think about it. I probably need to not be thinking on the fly on your live podcast while I'm addressing this stuff. But instead, they just go into this like 25-minute death squad spiral.
It's interesting. Do you think that the mental state that Red Band is in there, is that in any way comparable to the mental state that a scammer / pickpocketer is in when they get caught? Because it's a weird load of pressure they're under, and there's a big audience, be it online or the crowd of people around them. But I suppose the difference here is that Brian isn't trying to get help from anyone around him. But I can imagine the pressure situation being very similar, like cognitively in their brain. It being like, oh, I've got to defend myself. I'm being attacked here. There's loads of people watching. The feeling must be quite similar in some ways, and how people react. They can either go, I'm ending this, shout, or they can pick up gravel. They can play the victim, whatever. It's a very similar state, I think. Yeah. It's not a state that's fun to be in.
Fight or flight. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
there's the three words which nicely summed up that 1 minute thing. I just, yeah, you're talking about fight or flight. Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think I can recognize this feeling in Red Band, even without the cameras or the audience. I mean, even if it was just a one-on-one, and someone suddenly you feel like, oh, they're attacking this idea or this creation or something that I'm in the process of making, and they're criticizing it. And I feel the need to defend myself. I do feel defensive about it. So I'm explaining, and then they're just like, yeah, what about this argument that you had with your friend? And it's like, oh, I'm explaining that as well. Like you get this like heightened adrenaline state. Yeah, I can definitely see.
Yeah, I mean,
it just must be really extreme when you're on a platform of that size.
Yeah, I think the crowd around you or the online platform is the catalyst for that. And it just makes it accelerate and move a lot faster, way more reactive. Awesome. All right, guys. So you can find the links to the 3 major pieces of content we showed here. The Joe Rogan Confrontation with Ari and Red Band. You've got the Tyler Oliveira, the excellent video on pickpockets and scammers in Venice. And then I'll put a link to Kurt Katz's channel, because that actually was removed. That video was actually removed from YouTube. And I think it was because it was seen as like he was being I don't know. I think it was because he was getting into fights with women with an umbrella. Like YouTube just really didn't like it. So that was removed, but you can find a load of his other stuff there. And I'm sure that's still on his Patreon, which I highly recommend. I'm going to go and watch Tyler Oliveira's Patreon and go back through that Rogan thing. That was awesome. I forgot how good it was. That's a classic confrontation there. Any closing thoughts, Craig?
No, appreciate the scammer stuff that you brought today. It was fun.
What have you learned from the scammer stuff?
I'm going to start carrying an umbrella around with me wherever I go.
I think when you're in a European city in the summer on a beautiful summer's day and you're there on a vacation, definitely carry with you 2 things: an umbrella and a Chinese guy. They can both help.
Hey! No!